Have you ever swiped right on a dating app and wondered, could this person be dangerous? It's a thought that crosses many minds, but few truly understand the risks. In this video, we'll explore 4 chilling cases where online matches led to real-world nightmares. From deception to violence, these stories reveal the dark underbelly of digital dating. The Balcony Fall, Gable Tosti and Warriena Wright. Our first case takes us to Australia's Gold Coast, where a Tinder match led to an unthinkable tragedy. In August 2014, Warriena Wright, a 26-year-old New Zealand tourist, connected with local Gable Tosti on the dating app. Their playful messages quickly turned into plans for a real-life meetup. On August 7th, Wright arrived at Tosti's 14th floor apartment. What started as a fun evening of drinks and conversation soon took a dark turn. Unbeknownst to Wright, Tosti had begun secretly recording their interaction on his phone. The audio captured a heated argument erupting between the pair. Tosti's voice could be heard becoming increasingly agitated, accusing Wright of attacking him. "You're lucky I haven't chucked you off my balcony," he said at one point. The recording then picked up sounds of a physical struggle and Wright's repeated cries of "No!" In a shocking sequence of events, Tosti locked Wright out on his balcony. Moments later, neighbors heard Wright's terrified screams followed by a sickening thud. She had fallen 14 stories to her death while attempting to climb to a lower floor. Tosti fled the scene, but police soon caught up with him. The audio recording became crucial evidence in his murder trial. Prosecutors argued that Tosti's actions had left Wright in such fear that she felt climbing was her only escape option. The case captivated Australia, raising complex legal questions about culpability in Wright's death. Despite the damning audio, Tosti's defense team successfully argued that he had acted in self-defense when restraining Wright and that her decision to climb over the balcony was her own. After a tense trial, the jury found Tosti not guilty of murder and manslaughter in October 2016. While he walked free, the case left a chilling reminder of how quickly an online match can spiral into real-world danger. The Tinder Stalker, Joshua Stimpson's reign of terror. From Australia's Gold Coast, we now turn to a chilling case in the UK that exposes the dark underbelly of online dating. Imagine meeting someone who seems perfect, only to discover they're capable of unthinkable violence. How does a promising romance transform into a nightmare of stalking and murder? Molly McLaren was a vibrant 23-year-old student with a bright future ahead of her. In 2016, she connected with Joshua Stimpson on Tinder, and their relationship quickly blossomed. For several months, things seemed to be going well. However, cracks began to appear, and Molly decided to end their relationship just 12 days before her life would be tragically cut short. What Molly couldn't have known was that her breakup with Stimpson would trigger a terrifying campaign of stalking and harassment. Stimpson began posting derogatory comments and photos about Molly on social media, causing her increasing distress. His behavior escalated rapidly, with Stimpson appearing uninvited at places he knew Molly frequented. As her fear grew, Molly reached out for help. She confided in her mother, texting her about Stimpson's unsettling presence at her gym. "Mum, he's turned up at the gym and come next to me," she wrote, her anxiety palpable through the message. Molly had also alerted the police about Stimpson's behavior, and they had warned him to stay away, but these attempts to intervene proved tragically ineffective. On June 29, 2017, Molly's worst fears became a reality. As she left her gym in Chatham, Kent, Stimpson ambushed her in the parking lot. In a brutal attack, he used a knife and a pickaxe to end Molly's life, demonstrating the horrifying escalation from online harassment to physical violence. The aftermath of Molly's murder sent shockwaves through the UK. During the trial, the full extent of Stimpson's obsessive behavior came to light. In January 2018, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum term of 26 years. While this verdict brought some closure, it also raised urgent questions about the effectiveness of existing protections for stalking victims. The Serial Predator, Lavontae Stuckey's alleged crimes. While Stimpson's case horrified the UK, across the Atlantic, another predator was allegedly using dating apps to orchestrate a series of attacks. What happens when the justice system fails to stop a suspected serial offender? The case of Lavontae Stuckey reveals a troubling pattern that exposes cracks in both online dating safety and legal proceedings. In Las Vegas, multiple women reported similar experiences of assault after meeting a man through Tinder. The suspected offender was identified as Lavontae Stuckey, whose alleged crimes followed a disturbing pattern. He would reportedly match with women on the dating app, arrange to meet them, and then assault them once they were alone. The first reported incident shed light on Stuckey's alleged tactics. He apparently used a false identity on Tinder to lure victims, presenting himself as a charming and trustworthy date. Once he met the women in person, the situation would quickly turn dangerous. As news of the initial assault spread, 2 more victims came forward with strikingly similar accounts. Their stories highlighted a recurring method. Stuckey allegedly used Tinder not just as a way to meet women, but as a tool to specifically target vulnerable individuals. The legal proceedings that followed revealed troubling gaps in the system. Despite the severity of the allegations, Stuckey was able to secure a plea deal for earlier charges. He pleaded guilty to false imprisonment, resulting in a sentence of credit for time served. This outcome raised serious concerns about the effectiveness of the legal system in deterring repeat offenses and protecting potential victims. The investigation into Stuckey's activities continues, with authorities actively searching for additional victims. This case underscores the challenges of prosecuting sexual assault cases, particularly when dating apps are involved. It also highlights the urgent need for dating platforms to implement stronger safety measures and for users to remain vigilant about the potential risks of online connections. The Backpacker's Nightmare. Grace Millane's tragic end. From Las Vegas to Auckland, the dangers of dating apps know no borders. But what if the perpetrator's defense is as shocking as the crime itself? The murder of Grace Millane not only devastated a family, but also ignited a fierce debate about consent that would ripple across the globe. Grace Millane, a 22-year-old British traveler, embarked on a round-the-world trip that brought her to New Zealand in 2018. Her adventure, meant to be filled with excitement and new experiences, took a tragic turn when she connected with a man on Tinder. Initially, the match seemed promising, with Grace enthusiastically sharing her enjoyment of their time together with friends. However, alarm bells rang when Grace failed to respond to birthday messages from her family. The police quickly launched an investigation using CCTV footage to track the movements of a suspect. Their worst fears were confirmed when Grace's body was discovered stuffed into a suitcase and buried in the Waitakere Ranges, a scenic area outside Auckland. The nation of New Zealand, typically considered safe for tourists, was shaken to its core. A wave of grief swept across the country, prompting serious discussions about the safety of solo female travelers. The case exposed the vulnerability that even the most careful backpackers can face in unfamiliar environments. As the trial unfolded, disturbing details emerged about the killer's actions following Grace's death. He had taken intimate photographs of her body and meticulously searched for locations to dispose of her remains. Actions that starkly contradicted his claims of accidental death during consensual sex. The defense strategy employed during the trial sparked significant controversy. The killer's legal team put forward a rough sex defense, suggesting that Grace's death was unintentional and occurred during consensual intimate activity. This tactic drew sharp criticism from advocacy groups like We Can't Consent to This, who argued that such defenses perpetuate victim blaming and disrespect the dignity of the deceased. The verdict and its aftermath resonated far beyond New Zealand's borders, sparking global conversations about dating app safety, violence against women, and the legal system's handling of such cases. While justice was served, the tragic loss of Grace Millane served as a sobering reminder of the potential dangers lurking behind seemingly innocent online connections. As we've seen, these cases share some alarming similarities. They all began with seemingly innocent online connections that quickly spiraled into dangerous real-world encounters. The perpetrators used dating apps to target vulnerable individuals, exploiting the trust and optimism that often accompanies these digital meetups. Despite these risks, it's important to note that many people have positive experiences with online dating. Studies show that 30% of users report finding meaningful relationships, and 70% feel dating apps have improved their social lives. However, these statistics don't negate the need for caution. To stay safe, experts recommend meeting in public places, informing friends or family about your plans, and using the app's built-in safety features. It's crucial to trust your instincts and be wary of sharing personal information too quickly. Remember, your safety should always come first. By sharing this video, you can help raise awareness about the potential dangers of online dating and potentially save lives. Let's work together to make the digital dating world a safer place for everyone.